What's next? Boots,
It's not easy choosing clothes for when it's so wet en cold at the same time. En dan dat je dat misschien een beetje koud zal vinden. Hij mag aan. Nou, for when look at this enough.
I don't know. We don't even know what temperature it is in store, so it's a bit hard to tell really. We'll be back in a second.
Okay.
How's that, Yasmin? Is that okay? Yeah? Okay, good.
Zo, het is erg warm nou denk ik hè?
Ja.
Ja. Oké. Zo. Is die zo goed?
Ja.
Ah, nu wel.
I need this for me.
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah.
Zombie. There's zombie.
You said you can do it yourself, so there you go. Okay, there goes Caroline. Dragging the bin up the driveway for the first time. All the way from our house. There you go. First label we stuck on there of course fell off, so we decided to ride on it. Address attempt number 2. Lunchtime, meaning we're gonna have some bread. We make our own bread every day. We still have a bread machine that we bought in Luxembourg where we hardly ever used it, but since we moved here we use it every day, so it was a good purchase after all. Leftover bread we use for the chickens or breadcrumbs for cooking. What do you want to have today?
Well, there's still a little bit of pork left, so let's have that.
Oh yeah. Nice bit of butter. Good for the brain. That's quite a chunk, but... And then what kind of sauce would you like?
I would like some mayo and some ketchup, please.
You can see the wife ordering me around from over there. Some mayo and some ketchup?
Yes, please.
Can't go wrong with a bit of mayo. Don't understand why people don't like mayonnaise. I mean, what is it really? Egg, oil, a bit of mustard for that extra flavor, a bit of vinegar. I don't know, what's not to like about it? And then don't forget the box of hot sauces. Okay, there we go. And of course you gotta do the diagonal cut to make it look like you could buy it in a restaurant. That looks good. Well, what we then like to do, since the kids are at school, is eat it while watching a bit of MasterChef The Professionals. Yeah? You ready?
Almost.
You paid all the bills?
Yeah.
Well, it's happened again. We're down another sheep. Again, this was one of the sick ones, Smalls. You didn't make it. For those watching our last video, you would have already noticed that there were only 3 left. So yeah, that sucks, but apparently that's part of farming. So that equals that farming sucks. I guess, I mean, the breeders of the sheep breeders did tell us that, you know, all of them told us, you know, you need to have at least 2 rams. 1 is not enough, because when one of them dies, which is quite likely apparently, then you're going to be left with none. So you definitely need 2. Even most say, a lot of them said actually 3 would be best, but okay, we did 2. So now we're left with 3. We started with 6, we're left with 3 sheep. But these are of course the toughest sheep, so that's a good thing. Hey sheepies. Okay, you're loose again. So you just come out now by yourself. And did you get into the bag of feed as well? Oh my goodness me. You did. This boy's been out and got into the bag of... What did you get into? I think some wheat. Or was it oats? Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Can you not knock the camera over, please? As I was saying, at least the sheep that are left are tough sheep, well acclimatized, and you know, survival of the fittest, as they say. So that is a good thing, and hopefully Biggie's doing his job getting these girls pregnant. I hope he's done his job to get them pregnant, and I don't know, Caroline thinks that the other on one of the girls is looking quite big. Hopefully it's true, and hopefully they're pregnant. But we certainly need more lambs to keep the flock going and going strong. 3 sheep is just not enough to keep going like this, and of course we need to get them pregnant to get milk from them as well. Hey, silly girl, what are you eating the compost for? Still filling it up by hand. Not keep going until I fixed the connection between the house and the barn. Ah yeah, no wonder why it's poo all over me. Of course she said diarrhea. Ah, Biggie. They ate way too much of that stuff. Bah. Ah, it's everywhere. Start with onion seeds today. Let's see how many are left in this one. This one is from last year. Not many. Got some? Okay. Let's continue. Bits for Caroline.
Caroline here.
Amber's on the way home, so you just have to open the door, porch door.
Okay, 10-4.
Okay, that was 2 types of yellow onions. Both rather fast growing. This one is supposed to be very fast growing. So we'll see. And it's supposed to be really big. And also good for storage. Supposed to be able to store for 2 to 3 months. Hopefully that's the case. And then this was the other one that we had. So we'll see how well it does. Last year we failed because we started way too late with the growing due to the heat pump only being installed in April. And of course us moving house and everything, we just didn't have the time. But this year, it's now the end of February, which is late maybe for most people to start with their garden and the seeds. But for us, we can only really plant outdoors beginning of June. Some things that can handle the cold better, like potatoes and broad beans, we can start them in May when we can actually work the ground, because in April the ground is still frozen, so we can't even get in it. But if we start planting lots of things in May, you still have a good chance of frost during the night, and you have had the experience that things have died. That's why we're not starting right in the beginning of February, because things will just grow for too long inside, and so things like peppers will then start to think, okay, I'm never coming out of this little pot, so I'm gonna start growing fruit, and they will never get really big. So we've learned from experience to just start a little bit later with that, although it is very difficult to be patient, because when it's February and we've been sitting in the dark for months, we just want to get stuck into it. So we've waited a bit longer this year, waited till the end of Feb, and last night I started getting worried and almost panicking about our garden and about the seedlings, so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna get started now. Next thing I'm gonna be seeding is another type of yellow onion. We're just trying different types and see what grows best up north. And the other one is a type of red onion, and we'll see how well that grows up here. That was a huge amount of onions planted. At least I hope it will be a huge amount of onions in the future. And then I've got a few cells left in there, so I think I will plant some celeriac and see how that works. We've also not been successful with that. It was growing, but we were apparently too late, because we certainly never got any proper plants from it, proper celeriac. Time to get started on peppers. In the beginning, when we moved up here, we even had a dream of starting a chili farm. We called it the chili farm, because it would be very chilly up north. Chilies, I must say, we've done well. We've had loads of cayenne peppers last season, and some jalapenos, they work nicely. But we haven't had any luck with some of the really hot ones, like Scotch bonnets and Carolina Reaper. You want to try that, of course. I don't think our chili farm will be happening anytime soon, but especially now that we have 2 kids, for which I have to keep making mild food. Although Amber is starting to get into the hot sauces as well. Hopefully you do well this year. Tomatoes, always a struggle for us. I don't know, we've had a few big ones, some cherry tomatoes, but for the amount of plants we grew, it's terrible. Terrible record. This year we've gotten some better types of tomatoes, a bit more hardy for this climate. That was really our mistake, that we tried to grow things that we wanted to eat and not things that were more adapted to this climate. Alright, there we have it. Planted bunch of peppers there and there. There we've got our red onions, yellow onions, some root celery. We've got some aubergine in the middle in the little pots. And there we have more different types of yellow onions. Lots of seeds, hundreds of seeds. And then here just planted a whole bunch of tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes and some, I'm not sure, I think they come from Poland, so hopefully that's why they're a bit more hardy, huh? You know, those tough Polish people. And that's about it for today. I'm gonna stop it there because I've got an order of solar panels to deal with. So we'll be back here soon, but for now everything's set up with our heat pump and our 1 LED light, and space for lots more growing in here. Maar waarom vraag je dat? time to haul some of the wood that I chopped the other day in the forest, and I will be coming through there, drive it up here, drop it off right off this snow bank here, and then go in circles and keep doing that. This is quite a deep ditch. I keep getting stuck there with the snowmobile, so first going to have to fill that up a bit so it's a bit more of a smooth ride. I just needed a break. That is hard work. Not lifting the trees, but going through the snow all the time, the deep snow. It's like running on a beach, but then 10 times as bad. So definitely not be running, and almost every step you take you sink in half a meter. Luckily enough this year it's been melting a little bit more than previous years, so the snow is not as deep. Like last year every step I took was a meter deep, so in the end you're just crawling. Certainly get you fit. Made me think about my youth playing squash for the Luxembourg national team. It's only Luxembourg, so it's not like it was a major achievement in my life, but I was certainly fit back then. Maybe even the fittest on that team. I wasn't the best, but my goodness, I could run like a lunatic. Alright, enough talking. Karen, I must be thinking, what's this lazy guy up to? Back to work, Vince. Sweat it out. Well, update on this sledge. It needs improvement. Surprise, surprise. Just got the car warming up so I can get it hooked onto the trailer and bring the trailer over to the branches so I can wood chip them directly into the trailer, so I don't have to go back and forth with, I don't know, 20 loads, 30 loads of wheelbarrows. I can just drive it up to the chicken coop in one go. But while it's warming up the car, just gonna try and solve this problem of our eggs coming out real dirty from the egg boxes. Just gonna get the hay out. It's too wet material. Ah, okay. Another egg. Yeah, we have sawdust on the bottom of it. I don't know if that's too dusty for the chickens. At least it's dry. I'm gonna put some hemp in there instead. Okay, well, that keeps everything a bit cleaner and dry. Okay, that's looking pretty good. That's another trailer full of wood chips. Very nice. Good for the chicken coop, good for the compost, good for making paths in between all the growing boxes. As you can see, I mean, it's a really good machine, except for the freaking tire that I need to do something about because that annoyed me. But okay, for the rest it's really good. It's very powerful. What did we go for? Yeah, 7 horsepower we went for. Of course, as you can see, there's a lot of branches. The smaller branches it doesn't do. They do come out, yeah, a bit more chopped up than they went in, but it's more like they get pulled through. You saw the last few pieces of wood as well that went through this one are massive. I think it can handle about 80 centimeter diameter, I think. What is it, max branch diameter? 80 millimeter, yeah, not 80 centimeter. No, that would have been gigantic. So this stump here is too big. You know, if you get up there, it's alright, but you see that you need to be careful with it. You can't just shove it through because the motor will shut down. But it's quite incredible. And I think with the branches, you're gonna have trouble with most machines getting them really pulverized or into little chips. From what I've seen in the most reviews is the machines doing the same thing as this machine does, and it's just basically pulling through the branches instead of chopping them and chipping them up. So, well, that was a nice day's work. I think it's time for some lunch. So we've decided to separate the branches from the wood chips. Wood chips are just way nicer to have in a chicken coop. So we're gonna chuck all the branches here so that they're out the way for now.
Yeah.
Hey.